The lesson.
Oh yeah.
Well, look, we look forward to the new music coming out. It looks like, you've kept pretty busy with the street shit as well as with the music stuff.
Yeah.
I guess before we get out of here, there's a lot of conversation. We were talking about drill music. And because it's like the new current thing in Australia within rap, there's a lot of conversation about the impact that drill music does or doesn't have. People are saying, is drill music promoting violence and it's the reason why kids are out here stabbing each other, or are the artists just putting their truths on paper and they're not responsible for the way that people digest it? In terms of just street rap in general, whether people want to call it drill, gutter rap, street rap, whatever, do you personally feel that the music has an impact on the youth? If so, positive, negative, what's, your thoughts?
Probably positive and negative, but I can make a song today saying, go jump off the West Gate. If someone does that, that's their fault, you know what I mean? Just because I say it's mad to go do that, if they do that, that's their fucking issue, People are putting on paper what they live. So that's the positive side of it, The negative side is you've got some dickhead who's going to hear it and say, oh, I'm going to go stab someone because I heard Merks' song. But then there's the positive side is there's 100 people who aren't dickheads who are going through some shit, who maybe were about to kill themselves, didn't kill themselves because they heard the track, and they're going through the same shit,
Do you personally feel like you have any sort of social responsibility when you're putting music out? Or do you feel like artists in general, particularly big names, that they have or should have any social responsibility when putting this music out?
I reckon just be real. That's my one anyway, for me. I liked NTER because he was doing what he was talking about doing. And that other rappers weren't, so that's what made me respect him more. And, feel his music more. So, I do the same thing. I don't know, I can't stand it. If you're going to write something, live it. If you don't live it, then don't write it. Write what you're doing, If you're cooking barbecues and changing nappies, then make a rap about cooking barbecues and changing nappies, and maybe some dads will pump your tunes, you know what I mean? But don't try and get the houseos to pump your tunes when you're not living it, Talking about AK-47s and shit and they've never even shot, It's not how it is.
When you've heard, throughout the years, when you've heard street rap come out of Australia, do you feel like there's a lot of stuff out there that is not authentic and people are just saying things that they're not actually living? Or do you feel like the majority of people that are doing it are living it and it is their truth?
No, I'd say majority aren't living it.
And so, look, for me personally, if you're not living it, to put that shit out there as if you are, it's just insane. I don't really understand why anybody would do that. But as someone who, who has lived that life, why do you think people do that? Why do you think people are putting on that front?
Because it's cool to them. If you can rap and you can rap right, you've got attention, and they go off that attention. I want more attention, so I'm gonna say I've done this in a track. I've never done it in my life, but how's this girl gonna know that I've never done that before? When she asks me about it, I'll just make up a fake fucking story and tell her that, and then rappers start getting girls and start getting mates everywhere, and it goes to their head. That's what I reckon anyway.
Do you think, when people are talking and, we're talking about, say, the negative influences that street rap can have on the younger generation, do you feel like it's really the people that are bullshitting that are the problem? Because the kids are actually taking it for real when they're actually just talking shit?
Yeah. Well, not like if you, I couldn't tell you what track to search, but like I'm pretty sure like everything I've talked about bad in my tracks, there'd be somewhere along the lines like, this is fucked, you know? That message is getting sent through like, this is fucked. Not this is mad. But they don't get that, you know, that's because I live the life and I know it's fucked. Whereas these, you know, they don't do nothing they're speaking about, so in their head it's like, yeah, I stabbed 3 cunts last night, nothing's happened to me today because I'm a big bad gangster, but it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. So then kids hear that and they go, you know?
For you, when you are listening to some of this music and seeing the clips, what is it for you that makes it a dead giveaway that the shit's not authentic? Is it just in the way that they're carrying themselves in the music?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like that, or like some things they say, like, it's hard to explain, like, there's a lingo, you know, it could be lingo they're using, or they could be talking about a AK-47 that they used last night, and you know for a fact that, you know, anyone who's in the scene knows what I'm talking about right now, you know? Like, they're not $200 from Kmart like America, you know? There's not drive-bys every night. You know, like, there's shit like that, like, people talking about AKs and they killed someone last night and then they made a rap about it today. That's all bullshit. You know, that didn't happen because it doesn't happen.
Do you think that it's dangerous for these dudes to be talking this shit when they're not living it? Because in my mind, I kind of feel like...
100% it is.
Yeah, because they're going to eventually get pulled up and tested on it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like, is that pretty much the mentality? Like, you know, dudes think that these certain individuals are talking shit, so when you see them out, not you personally, but just in general.
Yeah, put it on them. I mean, if I can't name names and that, but if I see, you know, if some, you know, I know for a fact if any of my mates or any of the boys run into them, they'd have to fucking do what they're rapping about, or if not, they're going to be put on a show, you know?
Have you ever had a situation where people thought that your music was not genuine and have tried to test you for it?
I've had people ask, but just ask about certain songs, like, oh, what did you mean in this song, you know? What did you mean in that song when you spoke about this, or, you know? Just shit like that, really. Most people I've met, though, they don't meet me through music, they meet me through, like, you know, streets sort of thing. So they meet me while I'm doing something, you get me? And they're like, oh, wait, you're Merks the rapper, and they're like, oh, fuck. You know, I just bought this off Merks, or I just seen Merks do this, fucking the cunt is actually out here, you know?
I guess on the topic of street rap, you know, we briefly talked about 1-4 and the success that they're having and why they're having the success. Another artist that is on that same sort of tip, and that is quite prominent now in the last year or two, is Spanion. Are you familiar with Spanion's music?
No, not his music. I've just watched a few of his videos. I think we follow each other on Insta, that's about it.
Now, what do you think? I'm pretty like engaged in his social medias and stuff. Like I follow him a bit. His press manager just sent me his book, so I'm really looking forward to reading that one. What are your thoughts on Spanion, and why do you think he has had, I guess, you know, the big reach and success that he's currently having?
I don't know a lot about him, but from what I've heard, because he's real, you know. Like, I can't remember, I don't even know who the fuck it was, but someone I know that knows him, and they're like, yeah, he's about it, like, you know, he's not talking shit. So that would be another thing for him too, because he's one out, you know, he's not with the crew and that, or if he is, he doesn't, you know, put it out there that he is. he's just by himself on his ones, and he will do what he's talking about, you know, from what I've heard.
The lesson. 927. Oh yeah.